Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFL Fantasy Fanatics video on the channel. The second bye week is done, round 13 is in the books, and yeah, an okay week. 1831, round rank of 16,966. So really not as good as what I wanted, but we moved up in rank. We moved up 94 spots, I think it was. Yeah, 94 spots. Was it 94? Or 96. I think it was 96. Anyway, 96 spots, right? But still, when you rank 9,500 and you only move up 90-odd spots, it's not really what you want. You want to be... This is where I was hoping to be making some big ground, right? But I guess round 13 was my weaker buy out of all of them. I had a few extra premiums. I think a few people only had like maybe 1, 2, or 3 premiums. I had 4, being Messiah, Andrew Brayshaw, Ryan Marshall, Shea Bolton. So I'm hoping that the next few weeks we can keep improving rank. Obviously, we come from a pretty far way back. So, but yeah, 1831, as I said, not a great round rank, but yeah, up 96 spots in the end. Plus and minus 3 for me. Plus has got to go to Max Holmes. Clearly my high score of the round, only player to go over 130. Or actually only player to go over 125. So, yeah, obviously massive score from Holmes. Obviously Baz being out helped him a bit, which is good. And also it held Bailey Smith as well when he was being out. So it was obviously another primo down that I had. So maybe all in all, not too bad. I think a lot of people might have held Bailey Smith though. But yeah, Max Holmes was fantastic. That absolute and utter piggery that he showed when he came on. 39 touches, but he came on at the end just to get that final 40th disposal. It was absolutely disgusting, and I love it. Love it. And when I mean piggery and disgusting for the people playing a lot at home, that is very, very good terms. It was just fantastic that he came on and did that. I just absolutely love it. I think he got a tackle as well. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Max Holmes, +3 for the week. -3's got to go to Riley Hardiman. When I heard that Colin McKerch, there was rumours of him going down back, that raised a flag. But by that point, I was like, well, I wanted for cash gen. If he goes and puts like a 70 up regardless, he'll make good cash. I didn't expect a 33. I know that not a lot of marks were taken for North defenders, and it was a bit contested game early, opened up a bit more later. But yeah, 33 is not great. His break even's now shot right up to, I think it's like 41. So he'd have to put up another 80 this week to really make some cash. At this stage, I'll probably hold. But I think with the trades I did last week, he's technically my D7. So like I can downgrade him. He's an easy downgrade to get cash to make my final upgrade or 2. So yeah, it's disappointing with only a 33. I essentially went Stone to him. Like I went Roberts to him. But if I'd sort of gone to the trades, it was probably could have maybe traded Levi to Doherty last week instead of doing Stone out. Keep Stone and not worry about getting Hardiman. But yeah, is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll move forward. But yeah, let's go through the rest of the scorers from round 13. So I had the 21 scorers this week, obviously with Marshall there, so didn't have that second ruck. So we had, and that was probably another thing as well. Went up in rank. A lot of people had Gorn or another ruck playing this week, whereas I kept Marshall. So just having the one. So I'm hoping that holds me in good stead. I'll now have 2 rucks now for the remaining bye weeks, which is good. But yeah, Connor Rosey, 121, fantastic. Obviously, really tough matchup against GUS. First game in my own team, putting him back into defense. Well, I think for all of us, putting him back in defense. D1 spot really does suit him because he's absolutely smashing it this year, averaging 108.7, another 120. I think he's had 3 80s this year. Every other game's been over a ton. And yeah, just getting it done. Tough matchup. And 121, very, very nice. Max Holmes, as mentioned, fantastic score. Top scoring player of the round. Very happy to have him in the side. Riley Bice, 93. And we had to shake hands and say, thank you for your service, and I'll trade him out this week. He went down only to 2K this week, which is great. Kept him for the Richmond matchup, and I just thought, well, with no Roberts as well, I thought, well, he's going to be the extra distributor down back. Didn't turn it to be that way. Played off with the wing all game. Played huge game time. I think it was like well in the 90s. Yeah, 91. Oh, well, just 91%. But like that was his highest game time for the season, clearly. And on a wing. Got a lot of those +6s that Richmond do give up, but I wouldn't be holding him past his buy. Like his break even's still 64, so it's down. So you don't have to trade, but that roll's going to be way too up and down. Rods will be back. They'll have a few guys back, like Gould will be back. Who knows where Bice, if he's a sub, where he's going to sit in the team. So for me, shake his hand. Thank you very much for your service, but I'll trade him. Time for him to go. Hardiman, as I mentioned, disappointing. I'll probably keep him for one more week, but he could potentially go the week after. He might be my downgrade to get that forward rookie if I need to pay up even for someone. So, but yeah, Hardiman is there. Matt Carroll, he's probably gone for me this week. So 49, actually had some good moments, took some good marks. Was hoping he'd score a 60, 65, but subbed that tactically in the third quarter at three-quarter time. I thought was a bit surprising. I didn't think he was going to be subbed, but they did. And I could have brought Hardiman in when I got him. When I brought in Carroll for his 32, I think he got. Or actually, no, I think I might have gone early. I think gone for like a 50-odd and hasn't really done anything. He hasn't gone over 60 since I've had him. And I could have got Hardiman for his ton. And I would have got... would have got all that cash gen that that Hardiman had earlier, but went Carroll instead. So unfortunate, but is what it is. Angus Clark, 58. Yeah, not too bad. Made some good cash again. He's up to 399k. So again, he's made some really nice cash. So Hardiman and Hardiman and Clark currently my D7, D8 with Bustlinger and Utility. Obviously, I'll trade one of these defenders down to a forward rookie, and that'll help straighten out the structure sort of maybe next week or the week after. Obviously, Nasai had his bye, and Jed Bustling obviously hasn't been playing. He had a really good game in the VFL, though, so I'm hoping that with the Dogs losing, maybe they bring in a key defender, maybe Bustling comes back in. I'm hopeful, but I don't think he will, unfortunately. Moving to the midfield, Nick Dacos, 83. To be honest, I'm pretty happy with that in the end, because that's one of the tightest tags I've seen in a long time. Ed Langdon was within an inch of Dacos was tagged within an inch of his life by Ed Langdon. I was trying to find the proper way to say it then. Just went everywhere in him. 83. He got going late. I think he was on 28 at halftime. So pretty good second half. 55 points, sorry. Was good. I think he'll be better. Obviously, he's got the bye this week, then goes into St Kilda, West Coast, which I think maybe Windhager goes to him, but West Coast, we know Dacos has got a pretty good record against them, so I think he'll go well there. So still happy to have Dacos in the team. Jordan Dawson, what a gun. Only had 18 touches, but still 109. That mark that he took at the end of the game, my God, I could talk about that for ages. The goal, he's just so good. He's got Hawthorn this week. I wonder if they run a Nash on him or a Finn McGuinness or someone like that on him. But Dawson has just shown that it's very, very hard to keep him down. And if he gets tagged, he'll score you an 80 at worst. But more often than not, he's going to ton up. So, another good score from him. Bont, 91. Bit frustrating first game in the team with 91. Teammates certainly didn't help him. They butchered the ball. They missed him on multiple occasions. And Bont in the first half sort of didn't really get out of second gear. Just sort of jogged around. Didn't really do too much. But second half, he did a lot better, particularly that last quarter. I've got full confidence he'll come good. He's got a really good run coming up. Obviously, St Kilda this week. I wonder if Windhager goes to him or Windhager goes to Ed Richards, which could definitely be the case. Then he goes Richmond, Sydney, North Melbourne, and then Adelaide, which I think is a good 4-week stretch for the Bont. So I think the Bont will get going. Particularly that Richmond game is what I really got him in for. So hoping that he can go well from here on in. Harry Shees at 119. He was the guy who gave the +3 on the pod and was probably an honourable mention for the +3 because half-time of that game, I was thinking Shees was gone for me. I'd be trading him regardless of what happened, just because role was bad. There's a lot more forward. He got stuck on the bench for a long time as well. He was only on 30 points, but after halftime, he just really got going. So he ended up scoring 89 points in the third and fourth quarter combined. In the second half, I should have said. He was just fantastic. I just want to get his quarter-by-quarter splits. So first quarter, he didn't attend a single CBA. So he was there for 0 CBAs. Second quarter, he had 1 CBA, but there were only, I'm only seeing here, there was only 2 CBAs for the quarter, right? So you probably can't really take them into account, but he only played 52% game time in that quarter as well. That was the quarter he got really stuck on the bench. So third quarter, he went in 3 CBAs, so behind Powell and LDU. So he was the third guy, but they had a bit of a mixture in the third quarter. And his game time was obviously up at 91%. Then the last quarter played 90% again, and he was the highest CBA attendee along with LDU and Parker. They all had 5. So the fact that they won the game, by throwing Sheezel more in the mids. I think they've said that he's going to be doing this mid-forward role for the remainder of the year. I think, based on this game, I think it'll be a lot more mid than what it was in the first half particularly. I think it'll be a bit more like the second half, where it's maybe a 55% mid, 45% forward, which we know Sheezel can still score well in the role. 119, great score. Be interesting to see how he goes over the next few weeks, but very good score. Definitely take it. Chris Petrarca, 89. It's been a bit quiet of Petrarca of late, not really getting those tons. He had those tons in that good run, but 92, 84, 104, 75, 89 in his last 5. He's not a trade out because he's still, I think, a top 6 forward. He's still averaging 94 for the year. He's still got some good matchups in the back half of the year, so I think he can still go well. But, yeah, I guess he's probably not going to be that top 3 forward. I was probably thinking he might have been when he got forward status. He's probably more like the 4th or 5th forward. They're behind Baz, Martin, and Kennedy is those 3. Ned Long, 101. What a gun. Third game in a row he's tonned up. And for a lot of people, we had this round as like he's probably gone. I don't know if we can trade him now. He's got 3 tons in a row. Again, the only thing I didn't love today is that he went off 3 times in the last quarter. Collingwood still don't fully trust him when the game's on the line. I think this happened against Geelong, where he was on the bench a lot in that last quarter. But when the game's not on the line, he's normally in the midfield. So he's got Saints and West Coast post-bye. I think those are some good matchups. And then he's maybe a trading round 17, probably a sideways swap to a premium that's dropped in price. I think he can still trade out because of that flag. So if you're in a good spot, you don't have many trade outs this week, you're heavy on this buy, he can probably go. But I think a lot of us, and maybe myself included, are probably looking at holding Ned Long. He's made 454K this year, and he's still got to break into 63. So I think he's still a little bit more to make, but we know that if he was to drop an 80 in his next game, he'd break in, would shoot back up to 90, and his cash gen would be done. But I think he's probably handy for rounds 15 and 16 in the buys, so I'm probably looking at holding. Miles Bergman, it was a tough watch. If people, and I know 104 is quite funny when I say it was a tough watch, but if people were watching my watch along, I was complaining a lot in the first half about Miles Bergman. That's what happens when players aren't going too well. But he was tagging Toby Green, and when he was in the midfield, he went there, and then when he went forward, he'd tag in there as well. And Toby Green copped a massive cork, and he was in the second quarter. Ended up getting late in the first quarter, played the second quarter, then got subbed out at half time. Bergman then went to a Brent Daniels. So he seems to be going to the mid-forward that's there. And Taser made a good point about it last night that in Bergman's matchups this year. So he obviously went to Dawson the first time in round 9. Dawson played full-time midfield, so he stayed in the midfield the whole time. Geelong, he was on Dangerfield for a little bit, but obviously a lot of injuries there, both for Port and then Dangerfield also got injured. He went back into defence a bit more. Freo, apparently went to Shea Bolton at times, went to maybe like a Brayshaw or someone, but Roll was all over the place. And then this game, his CBAs were still really good. Like they were right up there. Like I'm just having a look at the CBAs for Port Adelaide in this game here. So Zach Butter's obviously number 1. Drew was 2, but then Bergman was 3rd with 12. Then you had Wines. Rosie had 5 as well. So yeah, it seemed like Bergman was still in there a lot. And I think that it'll be interesting to see who he goes to this week. So Port have got Melbourne. So does he go to Petrarca or does he go to Cozzy Pickett? Because I think Pickett's a more dangerous player, right? But he matches up better than... Well, and dangerous is probably not giving Petrarca a lot of credit because they're both very dangerous, right? But I guess the exploit, like the quick agility... Probably hard to sort of say, but you guys know what I mean, right? But about Pickett. And there you go, Sydney. It's probably Heaney in that game, so that's probably going to be a lot of midfield time there. Then Carlton, maybe Cripps is probably the one that sort of comes to mind because Bergman obviously would match well against him. So I think the next 3 weeks over the buys are fine. But after that, he's probably someone I want to get off of then. Hopefully, he can get up to somewhere in the 800K range, and then he's an upgrade. But, yeah, I don't know if I'd be trading into him because he is 770. I do like other guys that are a little bit more expensive than him, which we'll chat about, or someone that's even cheaper. So we'll chat about them soon with my trade plans. Finn O'Sullivan. My spicy take last week was I said Finn O'Sullivan for the first time this year was going to go 60+. And not only did he do that, went 81. Fantastic. He went up 40K this week, 449K, and his break-even's now 18. So he might have kickstarted a little bit more cash gen, which is good. So obviously to downgrade him and be able to upgrade on another spot, which might be a very good move. Andrew Brayshaw and obviously Boxhill both on buy. Don't know if I expect Boxhill to be there this week, but I guess we'll find out. Obviously Big X 111, not great, but I'm glad I took it because I would have captained Nick Dacos. So again, another decent captain score with a 111. So hopefully that can continue. That's the only thing I've got right this year is captains in my team and on Captain's Challenge. We're still going okay with there. But yeah, I thought we all thought it was going to be bigger. But I think it's around where there wasn't as many ceiling scores. 111 I'll take. I'm fine with that. Obviously, Boyd and Marshall both on bye. It would be good to get Marshall back next week. Nick Martin, 106. That certainly wasn't looking very good at three-quarter time. Was a bit quiet. Played all over the place. Did he attend any CBAs? He went to 2 CBAs, had a few kick-ins, played pretty much everywhere. Played half-back, played midfield, played forward. So he was everywhere, but obviously huge time on ground. He's just a gun, 106. So last quarter, I'm just getting up his stats. So he had 44 points, 12 disposals, kicked a goal in that as well, and no surprises, played 100% game time. He's just a very, very good player, and he will be in there for the rest of the year. Obviously, Bolton, I used him to take Loman's score, which originally I wasn't taking Loman's score to 51, but obviously with Baz being out, had to pivot with that, but Bolton will obviously be back this week. Chad Warner with the 80, disappointed in that. He's been a pretty bad pick, unfortunately. He's only gone down 13k since I've had him, right? But he's gone 74 and 80 since I've got him, which are his 2 lowest scores since round 6, where he scored a 71 against Port. I think he'll still be in and around the top 6 forwards, but when I had the decision last week, do I go Warner or do I go Jack Sinclair? I should have gone Sinclair, and I would have had the better score last week. I guess I wouldn't have had the 80 this week, but I would have. I wouldn't have lost probably that much. And I would have made those points up last week with Sinclair, and I wouldn't have Warner. But I thought that he worked because I don't have many on the buy this week, so I thought Warner made a lot of sense. But unfortunate there, and he gave away 5 free kicks. That should have been a ton against Richmond, but hopefully he can respond post-buy. Isaac Rankin, 68. He's a bit of a concern, so he's just losing a lot of cash. Another 40k loss this week, so he's 850k now. That's now 5 scores in a row below 90. But the 3 scores below 89 that he's had, 77 against Port. Showdowns are always really tough. And it was a bit, I think it was it wet that game? I can't remember if it was wet. But showdowns regardless is tough. 89 against Collingwood, 89 against West Coast, but then a 63 against Sydney where no Crows player really scored well and no one went over a ton. And Brisbane was really wet. And even the Sydney game was a little bit wet as well in terms of it rained all day at Sydney. I think he'll be fine. He's got Richmond and Melbourne post his bye, so I think that I'm going to be holding because there's some good matchups there, and they've got a pretty nice run for the remainder of the year, the Crows, in terms of fantasy matchups, but obviously, yeah, it's disappointing that he's putting up some bad scores. Levi Ashcroft, he's someone I'll probably be looking at jumping off of this week, so his break-evens at 101, went down 23k this week. Obviously, dropped the 63 on the weekend with the wet weather. Still had 23 touches, but his job's done. And I've got a few of those guys on the round 16 buy, so he's probably someone I'm looking at trading out this week. And Caleb Daniel has gone really well last couple of weeks. So obviously before the buy, scored the 93 and then scored 97 on the weekend. So 94 against Collingwood, then 97 on the weekend. With Sheezel moved back forward, that's where he's been scoring really well. 94 and 97 since Sheezel's moved forward. And he scored a 77 when Sheezel played a bit more of that forward role, but yeah, just going along a lot better. And it's only dropped 1 score below 75 all year, which was at 57 against Brisbane when Sheezel was playing full-time defence. So I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to be very, very close to a top 6 forward. He's averaging 88.6 for the year. It's pretty much the same as like a Chad Warner, who's averaging 88.8. And he's very much in the mix. So I think he's a hold if you've got him. And if you don't have him, he's someone you could look at 795k. You probably don't want to go back there, but it is something you could consider. And then, yeah, Kyle Lohman, 51. Very happy with that. Some good cash gen. Obviously up to 429 now. His break-even is still at 18. So he's still got a couple weeks to make some cash, and maybe I'd downgrade him at his buy. I've got a few guys I'll be able to downgrade over the next couple weeks, which is nice there. And then, obviously, yeah, Angus Hasty being my red dot for the whole year. So, yeah, that's how we're looking like after round 13. I think my trades are almost set for the week. Obviously, we'll see injury reports, and I'll go through my own spreadsheet and everything like that and see if these are the trades I should be making. But at the time of recording, I'm going Bice to Colby McKercher, downgrading Matt Carroll to Zach Johnson because he's got a low break-even, make some quick cash. And then with my third trade, I'll be going Levi Ashcroft to Sam Doherty. That's currently what my plans are, but I've got to make sure that my team and stuff is all set doing those trades. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy with those. So, yeah, that'll do us for the round review. So, as always, let me know in the comments below, guys, how you guys went in round 13. Let me know your score, your round rank, your overall rank, and your plus and minus threes. We're interested to see how you guys went in round 13. If you guys are enjoying all of the videos around here, make sure you do smash a like on the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We are only 70 subscribers away from 4,000 subscribers. So, very much appreciate everyone that's subscribed so far. But if you haven't yet, make sure you do. Plenty of content still on the channel. We've got daily content dropping for you for the remainder of the season. And if you want guaranteed answer to your questions, because I can't always get to the comments of the videos or answer your DMs on like, Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, because I get, obviously, there's so many on all the different platforms. If you want a guaranteed answer to your question or you want a team review each week, head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/AFL Fantasy Fanatics. You get your team review through the Ask Me on Q service, which Patreon members do get that service for free. You get the exclusive Q&As every Wednesday. Other bonus content will be in there as well. And if you just want to help support us a little bit as well, then head over to our Patreon. Link is in the description, or head to patreon.com/AFL Fantasy Fanatics. Or you can even head over to Ask Me on Q, spelled QU.com/AFL Fantasy Fanatics. If you just want a once-off team review and just want to sell for that, you can head over and check that out as well. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. As always, we'll be back later on tonight for our Q&A. Normally, this is up on the Monday, but obviously with the King's birthday game, this is obviously going up on the Tuesday. But yeah, we'll catch you guys tonight for the Q&A, so you can answer the questions there as well. And yeah, we only got a couple of days, which is good, till our next footy, obviously on Thursday night, which will be fun. So I do like these weeks when it's a short turnaround, get stuck into the footy again. So but yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you guys had a good week, and we'll catch you guys later on tonight. So thanks everyone. Catch you then. See ya.